According to the HTTP archive, the median mobile page weight, aka middle point of all recorded page weights, has steadily risen since 2011 from around 150 kilobytes to nearly 1.8 megabytes today. This is an increase of over 1,000%. But where have all these bytes come from over the years? Using the archive, we can find the culprits. The size of HTML documents on mobile has remained relatively consistent over the past decade. In 2011, the median size was 19 kilobytes, whilst today in 2020 it's 26 kilobytes, so a 30% increase. What about all the assets the HTML calls? First off, the median amount of mobile requests here has nearly tripled in 2011, so even if the request sizes were the same, you would still have more bytes. Not that request sizes are still the same, they've grown quite a bit. Let's see how they compare. With CSS, the median on mobile has risen from 12 kilobytes to 60 kilobytes, which is an increase of 400%. We're now using more web fonts in designs. In 2011, going from a median of 57 kilobytes to 102 kilobytes in 2020, an increase on mobile of 79%. The median size of JavaScript bundles has also grown considerably, which given how far that language has developed this past decade, comes as no surprise. In 2011, mobile sites served a JavaScript bundle size of around 52 kilobytes. Today that figure has risen to 391 kilobytes, a huge increase of 651%. Images have also grown considerably. In 2011, the median image weight on mobile was around 100 kilobytes. Now, in 2020, it's not far from a megabyte, sitting at around 875 kilobytes, a massive 775% increase. And remember, these figures only represent the medians. Coming back to the overall mobile page weight, if we were to look at the extremities of this data set, the 90th percentile and above, aka the heaviest 10% of websites, we can see that in 2011 this figure was already around 650 kilobytes, which is nearly 2/3 of a megabyte. Now, in 2020, the heaviest 10% of mobile websites weigh nearly a whopping 6.5 megabytes. To put that into perspective, remember Doom, the iconic 90s first-person shooter? Well, a compressed copy of the installer for the shareware version only weighs around 2.3 megabytes. Today, many of the web's most popular destinations either match this with their page weight, or worse, outright exceed it. The Mail Online, 22% larger than Doom. CNN, 35% larger than Doom. And best of all, the Doom website itself, a whole 61% larger than the Doom game. Why does all of this matter when lots of people today have multi-gigabyte data plans? 7 megabyte is just a drop in the ocean, right? Well, here's a few reasons why it matters. There are countries where the most common way of accessing the internet is via a pay-as-you-go system which charges by the megabyte. Users on smaller data plans would see their allowance rapidly used up. Users abroad on international roaming get charged by the megabyte. If I were a tourist on holiday outside of the EU, a visit to CNN.com, which weighs around 11 megabyte, would cost me a whole £1 just for the single page load. Using data from whatdoesmysitecost.com, we can also generate relatively accurate costings showing how much percentage of daily income it would cost to visit a website. For example, for users in Madagascar, in the best case scenario, a single visit to CNN.com would cost them around 6% of their daily income. In contrast, the equivalent percentage figure for the US is 0.47%, and for the UK, even less, 0.17%. In addition to the cost factor, websites such as government information portals, hospitals and crisis centres must absolutely serve a fast, lean user experience, as anything less could restrict access to important information during times of crisis, or worse, endanger lives. To demonstrate, under the same Moto G4 test conditions as earlier, CNN takes a whole 13 seconds before anything renders in the viewport, whilst gov.uk, an important information portal here in the UK, only takes 4.6 seconds. Time and effort has obviously gone into optimising the gov.uk website. So, in addition to accommodating users, we also have a moral responsibility to look after them by optimising our website's performance. This is so we don't burden users with unnecessary costs or delay their access to important information and resources.